Hello, gentlemen. The real reason your wife no longer wants to be intimate with you? I am going to say it straight. No sugarcoating, no avoidance. It is not because she has fallen out of love with you. It is not because of menopausal hormones. It is not because of work stress. It is not because of the kids. It is because you have become too useful. You read that right. Too useful. That is your greatest sin. Inside the marketplace of affection, you are now nothing but a utility. You are a tool, not a man. You are a kitchen appliance, not a lover. When you become a walking ATM machine, desire dies automatically. This is the law. There are no exceptions. I am a woman. I have watched this play out inside hundreds of American marriages. Today, I am going to expose it. Sit down and listen carefully. First, let us talk about the lie being sold out there. The marriage counselors usually tell you that you have to do more housework. They tell you to listen more, every single day. They tell you to provide better, so she will appreciate you. They print these words inside best-selling books. They preach them on every marriage podcast. They make a fortune off that advice. This is a fatal mistake. A mistake that is killing millions of American marriages right at this very moment. They are confusing two completely different concepts: gratitude and desire. Listen carefully. Gratitude is what you give to a good servant. Desire is something reserved only for a man with magnetism. These are two entirely different neural circuits inside her brain. She may feel grateful to you for the rest of her life, but she will never desire a man she only feels grateful for. No one gets aroused by a dishwasher, no matter how expensive that dishwasher happens to be. And here is a sentence you have all heard quite a bit lately. I do not need a man because I have my own money. This sentence is plastered all over TikTok, all over Instagram, all over the keynote stages of female entrepreneurs. When a woman says that line, she is unintentionally admitting something. She is admitting that, in her eyes, a man is just a financial source, not a complete human being. So, if you fulfill that financial role beautifully, what happens? You become an expensive household appliance, a sub-zero refrigerator in the kitchen. Useful, pricey, but not desired. Before I go any deeper, I need to make one important thing very clear. This message is not for cases of physical violence. We are not talking about serious substance abuse. We are not talking about medical conditions that require a specialist. We are talking about marriages that look perfectly fine from the outside. The functional middle-class American families, with a house in the suburbs, with 2 cars in the garage, with a vacation in Florida at the end of the year, but where desire has slowly faded out because of a value mismatch. Now, I am going to expose 4 behaviors. 4 behaviors that you are unintentionally engaging in every day to turn yourself into a tool in your wife's eyes. The first suicidal behavior, financial objectification. You let your entire value sit neatly inside the bill at the end of the month, inside the bank account balance, inside the year-end bonus. You think that a high salary will trade for intimacy. You think a big diamond ring will trade for desire. You think the 5-star vacation will bring her back to you. Wrong. Completely wrong. That is a transaction, not passion. You are turning the bedroom into a stock exchange. And the stock exchange has no room for romance. The second suicidal behavior. The lonely gatekeeper. You shoulder every financial pressure all alone. You think this is noble. You think this is what a grown man is supposed to do. You stay silent as you carry the mortgage. You stay silent as the credit card debt climbs. You stay silent as the children's tuition skyrockets. You go to work early and come home late. You never complain. You think you are keeping the peace. You think you are protecting your wife from worry. But here is the tragic part. This silence creates an enormous emotional distance. She does not know what you are carrying. She cannot see the sacrifice. She is not aware of your value. Inside her mind, everything is easy. Everything just appears. Nothing is special. The third suicidal behavior. The forgotten emotional labor trap. You see protecting the family as an obvious responsibility. You pay the electric bill every month. You pay the water. You pay the internet. You pay the health insurance. You pay for the car repairs. You never speak about any of this because you think it is just what you are supposed to do. but your wife does not register any of it as sacrifice. In her eyes, you are simply doing your job, like a gatekeeper doing the work of a gatekeeper. Nothing worth being grateful for, nothing worth being desired for. This is how silent contribution gets erased inside the female mind. The fourth suicidal behavior, the hypergamy concession. When a woman is financially independent, something happens inside her brain. The opportunity cost of staying with you goes up. She begins to look outward. She begins to compare. She no longer needs you for survival. This is a harsh truth. She can pay her own rent. She can take her own vacations. She can raise the kids on her own if she has to. So what is left in you for her to desire? If it is not money, then it must be presence. It must be magnetism. It must be mystery. It must be something that she cannot create for herself. Desire will naturally fade if you no longer carry that presence. This is not malice on her part. This is evolutionary biology, millions of years deep. Now, let us talk about the science. There is a concept in neuropsychology called the evaluation mechanism. The human brain is constantly ranking value on a subconscious level, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. She is ranking you right now. You do not notice it. She does not notice it either. But it is happening. We only feel desire toward what we perceive as having the highest value. Inside a marriage, if you have only one thing to offer, and that thing is financial resources, you will be filed under the category of provider, not mating partner. These two categories are entirely separate inside her brain. The provider is kept around. He is respected at the bare minimum. He is thanked on Thanksgiving, but he is not desired in the bedroom. Next, let us talk about a great thinker, Erich Fromm, a German-American psychologist and philosopher. He wrote a classic book called To Have or To Be. Fromm pointed out that love often shifts from the mode of being into the mode of having. In the early stages of love, two people live in the being mode. They simply exist next to each other. They are amazed by each other. They discover each other every day. After 20 years of marriage, they shift into the having mode. He is my husband. He belongs to me. He has to do this. He has to provide that. Love becomes an asset on an inventory list. When you become too safe, too predictable, the dopamine inside her brain drops dramatically. The uncertainty vanishes, and desire follows it right out the door. This is scientific truth, not philosophy. The female brain needs a certain level of uncertainty to maintain craving. You have removed every last bit of that uncertainty because you thought it was a good thing. Now, look at the psychological consequences. Trying to please someone in order to be loved is a form of self-destruction. When you define yourself through your salary, you are objectifying yourself. You are telling the universe that you are worth no more than the number in your bank account, and the universe will treat you exactly that way. So will your wife. American men over 45 often fall into this very crisis. They work 60 hours a week to come home to a cold house. They pay the $800,000 mortgage. They pay the Stanford tuition for the kids. They pay the American Express Platinum bill, and they are treated like strangers inside their own bedroom. They walk into the bathroom to wash up. They climb into bed. They wish her good night. They get a small in return, and that is the entirety of intimacy for the day. This kind of resignation is not backbone. I am saying it directly. It is surrender in disguise. You have traded your masculine backbone for convenience. You have sold yourself far too cheap. So, what is the solution? Stop, right this minute, negotiating for closeness. You cannot use logic to force desire. You cannot show her a spreadsheet listing all the reasons she should want you. The solution is to take back ownership of yourself. This is the most important thing I will say today. Stop trying to become more useful to her. The more useful you are, the more you become a tool. The harder you try, the more you dissolve into the role of servant. Begin to become more valuable to yourself. Inner value, your own passion, your own purpose. A world where she is not the center. A man with his own passion is the most attractive man there is. A man with his own purpose is the most desired man there is. This is an unbreakable rule. Now, I am going to give you 4 concrete steps, 4 practical steps. Starting this week. Step 1. Make your emotional labor visible. Sit down with your wife on a quiet evening. Share the financial weight you have been carrying. Stop holding the debt all by yourself. Stop holding the work pressure all by yourself. This is not complaining. This is transparency. She has the right to know. She has the right to see your sacrifice. And you have the right to be acknowledged. When you hide it, you erase your own value in her eyes. When you share it, you restore that value. It really is that simple. Step 2. Set red light, green light boundaries. Identify the things you will never compromise on. This is the red zone, the forbidden zone. Non-negotiable. It might be your gym time. It might be your monthly fishing weekend. It might be your retirement savings. It might be a personal hobby. Your personal identity has to sit above your service. A man with no boundaries is a man with no shape. She cannot desire a faded shadow. Step 3. Shift from having to being. Stop seeing your wife as an asset inside the marriage contract. She does not belong to you. You do not belong to her. The two of you are two free people, choosing to be together every single day. Win her over again every single day with your own confidence, the same way you won her over 25 years ago. When you were still a young man with bright eyes and big dreams, that man is still inside you. Wake him up. Step 4. Invest in your own capital. Spend time at the gym. Pursue a personal hobby. Read books. Learn a new skill. Reconnect with old friends. Build relationships with respected colleagues. Invest in your health. Invest in your knowledge. Invest in your social network. This is the real capital of a man. Money is only the surface. Remember this. Desire is born from admiration, not from habit. When she sees you growing, living, shining, the admiration will return, and desire will follow. You are not alone in this battle to reclaim your own self. There are millions of American men over 45 living with this very same feeling, inside the suburban homes, behind the white picket fences, behind the forced smiles at every Thanksgiving dinner. If you are tired of being treated like a tool, if you are sick of being a walking ATM machine, join our community today. Hit subscribe so you do not miss the other deep psychological breakdowns to come. I will see you, gentlemen, on the other side of awakening. Now, before you turn this video off, I want you to sit still for a minute. Close your eyes. Travel back in time. 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. The last time your wife looked at you with genuine admiration in her eyes. Not satisfaction over a bill that has been paid. Not the relief of seeing you fix the garage door. Not gratitude for taking the kids to school. But pure admiration. The way she used to look at you when the two of you were still dating. And here is the question I want you to answer, as honestly as you possibly can. That last time, when was it?